This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen Gipp, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news. It's Friday, September 26, 2025, and here are today's stories. China's new digital ID system is being sold as safe and convenient, but critics say it could give the government sweeping control over people's online lives. Now picture tossing half your groceries straight into the trash. That's essentially what's happening in Canada, where nearly 50% of food produced never gets eaten, while families across the country still go hungry. But in Iowa, empty lots are being transformed into something hopeful. Lush urban farms where neighbors can learn, share, and grow their own food. On the shores of the Yucatan, it's not vegetables piling up, it's Sargassum seaweed, flooding beaches and massive waves linked to warming oceans and farm runoff. And when it comes to wildfires, forget the fire trucks. Sometimes the best defense is goats, cows, and even wild horses chewing down the dry brush that fuels the flames. And UNN Field Messenger Bob takes us to a special island where a family retreat mixes yoga, glamping, and mindfulness with breathtaking scenery and wildlife. China just launched a new digital ID system. And while officials promise it will protect your privacy, critics warn it could give the government the power to monitor, control, and even erase your online life. Behind the claim of convenience and security lies a tool that could reshape how every citizen interacts with the internet and how much the state can see. The system, officially called the National Online Identity Authentication Public Service, allows citizens to register with official government documents and verify their identities through a government-controlled platform. The government says this approach will reduce the amount of personal information collected by private websites and apps. On paper, it sounds like a win for privacy. Fewer forms to fill out, less data floating around, and more protection from hackers and marketers. But there's a catch. While citizens can voluntarily use the digital ID, at least for now, companies must comply. This essentially centralizes control of identity data in the government's hands.
Starting July 15, 2025, China launched a state-controlled national internet ID system that promises to revolutionize how people access the web. Think of it as a master key, one government-issued digital identity that unlocks every website, app, and online service you use. Here's how it works. Instead of creating separate accounts for WeChat, online banking, shopping sites, or social media, Chinese citizens can now use a single virtual ID. This ID comes in two forms: a series of letters and numbers, plus a digital certificate to verify your identity. The system operates through something called the National Network Identity Authentication Public Service Platform, basically a central hub that manages everything. The government's pitch sounds reasonable enough. Officials claim this will protect citizens' identity information and support the healthy and orderly development of the digital economy. They argue it reduces the risk of data breaches because companies won't need to store your personal information anymore. They'll just get a verification from the government platform. With over 6 million people already registered and the app downloaded more than 16 million times, the system is gaining serious traction.
With millions already signed up, the government now has the power to revoke these credentials at any time, instantly cutting users off from multiple platforms at once. Losing access isn't limited to a single site. An individual's entire online presence, from social media accounts to posts and other activity tied to the ID, could effectively disappear. This centralization gives authorities unprecedented control over how citizens exist and interact online, making it easier to monitor, regulate, and even erase digital lives. China has been steadily eroding online anonymity for years, and the crackdown recently hit social media influencers with large followings. On November 1st of 2024, platforms including Weibo, WeChat, Douyin, which is China's version of TikTok, and Bilibili required anonymous accounts with more than 500,000 followers to display their real names. This move targets many high-profile users, many of whom have previously clashed with Beijing over sensitive content.
Anything that's seen as social media needs to be censored. So if a vlogger uses certain words that are deemed as sensitive word by the authority or by the platform, their content may get a notification say that you have to delete or adjust your content so that it can reappear on our platform, or the video may get taken down, or the account itself may get shut. There's always human censors at media publications. They would read through everything to make sure that it's within the party guidelines. And these days, there are also human censors at social media platforms to execute orders and to direct algorithms to do things. I think the most scary side of censorship is self-censorship. And it's also the most effective tool. In recent years, I think we've seen a lot more high-profile professionals, from economists to lawyers to even doctors, self-censor. And I think that is going down a very dangerous path.
China's internet is already tightly controlled and censored. It's centered around the Great Firewall, which blocks the country's more than 1 billion users from accessing international sites like Google, Facebook, and Twitter, also known as X, without a government-approved VPN. Beyond blocking foreign platforms, the system monitors and filters domestic traffic, removing politically sensitive content and requiring social media apps to enforce strict censorship, creating an online environment where information is carefully curated and dissenting voices are limited. Many countries are now creating digital ID systems that link real-world identities to online accounts. In 2024, Australia expanded its digital ID with the Digital ID Act, allowing private sector use while adding privacy protections. Singapore uses SingPass, modeled on Estonia's e-government system, to let citizens securely access online systems. These systems, along with China, serve as a reminder to stay cautious of any system that claims to offer security while limiting personal freedom. Food waste in Canada is a massive problem, and honestly, it's hard not to shake your head at the numbers. Studies show almost half of all food produced in Canada ends up in landfills, while 1 in 5 families struggle with food insecurity. Kind of ironic that we're literally throwing away what so many people desperately need. According to city statistics, Toronto alone generates more than 99,000 tons of food waste a year, and more than half is avoidable. For individuals, it's often from buying too much or misunderstanding expiration dates. For producers, it's all about looks. Ugly fruits and veggies are tossed just because they don't meet size, shape, or color standards. A creative and affordable solution to food waste comes from Feed It Forward, a Toronto nonprofit running a pay-what-you-can grocery store. They rescue surplus produce from farms, retailers, and restaurants, ensuring food ends up on plates, not in landfills.
It's unfortunate that the way our current grocery system and the way modern production, it's just a scalability thing. They create food en masse. They, without necessarily knowing whether it'll actually be utilized, and then when it can't because of best before dates, meanwhile it's still good, they just can't sell it in traditional ways.
You got people who shop here just because, again, they support the initiative and they know that, again, we could be doing more to be socially responsible and direct food waste into, away from our landfills. And they understand that it helps us feed the people that, again, who might not have as much, or you would be surprised how many hugs I get alone just from people being like, oh man, I never knew a place like this existed. And you got people that are down to their last dollar.
Beyond the grocery store, Feed It Forward also has a free food sharing app. It lets locals share extra food by uploading details about the food type and the pickup spot. The app helps build stronger communities and healthier people by letting users share food instead of tossing it. This means less worry about affording the next meal for some, and a way for restaurants and farms to connect with new customers by sharing food that would otherwise go to waste. Feed It Forward isn't alone in this effort. Other food-sharing apps in Canada are also making an impact in reducing food waste and saving money. For example, Too Good To Go connects users with retailers, offering surprise bags of leftover food at the end of the day, giving perfectly good meals a second chance.
The prize bag is when a restaurant or retailer has surplus food left by the end of the day. They put that on Too Good To Go. Consumers find the food on the app, they reserve the food, and then they go and pick it up. They usually get around 70% discount on that food.
There are currently 100 million users and 170,000 retailers on the app throughout North America, Europe, and Australia. Firebun Creative, a small Jamaican restaurant, is one of the many businesses that partners with Too Good To Go in New York City.
I joined Too Good To Go in late 2020. Before I joined, we would throw food out, put it in the garbage, and that was, a bit hard and harsh. We were losing several $100s per day throwing out all this food.
The businesses on the app decide for themselves how they want to price their surprise bags. Customers are drawn to the app because of the low prices, variety of businesses, and the interest to help save leftover food from being thrown away.
I decided to join Too Good To Go because I love a deal. My boyfriend's been out of work for a year, and so it's kind of helpful to have an extra place to go and find food for a cheaper price.
In 2023, Too Good To Go sold over 102 million surprise bags, a 29% increase from the year before.
With the cost of living going up and the housing crisis getting worse, food insecurity is becoming a bigger issue in Canada. It's hitting some of the most vulnerable groups, like seniors, kids, single moms, people with disabilities, newcomers, and Black and Indigenous families. Solutions like food sharing apps and nonprofits, like Feed It Forward, are important in helping those in need and cutting down on food waste.
The Urban Farm Project by Matthew 25 in Iowa, USA, transforms empty lots into spaces for growing food, learning, and bringing the community together. UNN Field Messenger Kim explains how this initiative makes a difference.
Hi, this is Kim Hayes, Field Messenger for UNN in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Today, I'm at the Urban Farm Project of Matthew 25. They're an action-based nonprofit organization. Their motto is Pay It Forward. Matthew 25 is an organization here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, that believe in the God-given potential of all people and places. When others see neighborhoods some would describe as rundown, low income, dangerous, or plagued with problems, Matthew 25 chooses to see possibilities and to build upon the good. In 2008, there was a historic, devastating flood in Cedar Rapids. Matthew 25 turned it into an opportunity. Vacant lots became Iowa's first urban farm, where volunteers grow food destined for the CSA, which locals subscribe to. Some goes to the corner grocery store to be sold or given away to those in need, and the bulk of it is used to prepare nourishing meals at the pay-it-forward groundswell cafe they created. Educational signs are placed among the vegetables for visitors to learn about growing food and the helpful insects found here. Vendors set up tents and bring their wares to sell. Games, swings, and rock climbing is available for the kids. And most importantly, the wood-fired pizza oven comes to life for all to enjoy custom individual pizzas. A good time is had by all in the community, and it becomes an opportunity for neighbors to support neighbors. Thanks for learning about this community-based organization. Kim Hayes, Field Messenger for UNN.
Tired before the day begins? NAD Plus levels drop 50% after 40. NAD Plus helps your cells bounce back fast. Most supplements give precursors. NAD Plus skips the breakdown, delivering direct, bioavailable power. Support your energy, metabolism, sleep, and stress levels at the cellular level. Join the NAD Plus revolution. Start your journey to a healthier you. Subscribe today.
Hi everyone, this is Leanne.
And I'm Jerry.
Coming to you from Tamworth, New South Wales.
Hi there, this is Rick from Arizona.
My name is Uchechukwu Obenebam from Igbo tribe, Nigeria.
Hi, this is Scott from Utah.
I'm Annette from Agassiz, British Columbia.
Hi, I'm Marcus Surzit from Manipur State, India.
Real people reporting real stories from all around the world. That's what United Network News is all about.
Can you clap? We had a huge flood, which some call the flood of the century.
No fake news here. Our field messengers share personal experiences of what's really happening in their community.
We got some nice fish right here.
At UNN, you are the news.
My family and I had a very good time.
Take the next step. Become a UNN field messenger and share the real news with the world.
In the northwest province of South Africa, I am United Network News.
I am United Network News.
I am United Network News.
I am United Network News, and if it's going to be, it's up to me.
It's going to be, it's up to me. If it is going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to us. Field Messages, United Network News. See you next time.
Along the Yucatan's Caribbean coast, Sargassum seaweed is piling up in large amounts, driven by warming seas and agricultural runoff. UNN Field Messenger Liz reports on its impact.
Hey everyone, how are you? This is Field Messenger Liz, and I recently witnessed the massive overgrowth of Sargassum seaweed along to the region's environment and communities. It originates from the Atlantic Ocean, and it's exacerbated by rising temperatures and agricultural runoff. And this influx of seaweed that disrupts marine ecosystems and poses some threats to coastal life. Sargassum is a natural component of oceanic ecosystems, and it does serve as a crucial habitat and refuge for various marine species. However, the recent proliferation of sargassum along the nearshore waters has become a cause for concern. The seaweed smothers coral reefs, nearby seagrass beds, and beaches, and it jeopardizes the health and stability of these touchy ecosystems. Also, sargassum accumulates on the shoreline. It impedes the progress of sea turtle hatchlings, and it hinders their journey to the ocean, and it jeopardizes their survival. Consequently, coastal communities face challenges in maintaining public health and ensuring the safety of both residents and visitors. Mexican public health authorities are working these issues for both marine biodiversity and public health along the coast. Strategies may include improved monitoring and early detection of sargassum blooms and enhanced coordination among coastal communities and government agencies. Sustainable management practices to mitigate the impact of agricultural runoff also can help mitigate this situation. Using such proactive measures and fostering collaboration, stakeholders may work together to mitigate the adverse effects of sargassum influx and protect the ecological integrity and economic vitality of the region's coastal areas. This is Field Messenger Liz. Thanks for watching.
What do you think herbivores and wildfires have in common? More than you think. Believe it or not, animals like goats, cows, and even wild horses are helping to fight wildfires by munching away at dry vegetation that fuels these blazes, proving that sometimes the best firefighters have 4 legs and big appetites. Historically, wild, large herbivores roamed freely, maintaining ecosystem balance. But as these animals disappeared, wildfires became more frequent. A 2021 study in Science found continents like North and South America, which lost more grazers, experienced increased fire activity compared to places like Australia and Africa, where grazers remained. Without herbivores to clear vegetation, dead plant matter builds up, creating ideal wildfire fuel. This issue spans from Canada's forests to the African savanna and even the Arctic tundra. Conservationists are now turning to rewilding, introducing herbivores to old habitats or using substitutes for extinct species to manage vegetation and reduce wildfire risk. For example, a 3-year study in Portugal showed free-roaming horses could lower wildfire risk and boost biodiversity in Mediterranean landscapes. Similar efforts in Spain and the U.S. are using animals like bison and wild horses to prevent fires by managing overgrown vegetation.
In Northern California, along the Klamath River, wild horses are helping protect communities from the growing threat of wildfires. Rancher William E. Simpson II first noticed their impact in 2014 when he saw the wild horses grazing on dry grass and brush, the very fuel for wildfires. In the 2018 Klamathon fire, the horses grazing helped slow the fire's spread by creating natural fire breaks, clearing away the brush that would have fueled the flames. Their instincts guided them, unshaken by the fire around them. Unlike cattle, wild horses graze in a way that prevents dry grass and shrubs from building up, reducing fire hazards. They even spread seeds, helping regenerate fire-resistant plants and healthier ecosystems. Simpson isn't just advocating for wild horses on his ranch. He's teaching students at Cal State Sacramento how these animals play a critical role in wildfire prevention. By protecting them, we can save lives, reduce fire damage, and even save billions in taxpayer dollars. Communities in California and Nevada are already using wild horse grazing to reduce fire risk.
Traditional pasture practices are also helping combat wildfires. By grazing cows, sheep, goats, and donkeys in specific areas, farmers create natural fire breaks by clearing vegetation that fuels fires. This method, supported by fire authorities, is cost-effective compared to expensive firefighting tools like helicopters. Goats are especially great at this, munching through weeds, bushes, and low-hanging leaves with ease. They can handle extreme heat and steep hills, making them perfect for hard-to-reach areas. This isn't a new idea. It's been used for centuries in countries like Italy, Greece, and Spain. Research even shows goat grazing is one of the most effective and eco-friendly ways to reduce wildfire risks, especially in areas with dense shrubs. It's a timeless solution that's proving its worth now more than ever.
In Spain's Catalonia region, a unique fire prevention team is hard at work. Hundreds of goats grazing their way to safer communities. These goats are part of a pilot project in Mataró, funded by the EU to clear flammable brush and create natural fire breaks, reducing wildfire risks.
Ha contractat l'Ajuntament de Mataró per pasturar al voltant de les franges, que és 25 metres al costat de les urbanitzacions que donen al bosc. I al pasturar redueixes molt la biomassa i fas que el risc d'incendi sempre sigui molt més baix.
With their voracious appetites, goats munch on thorny plants and dry shrubs, clearing areas machines can't reach. Locals love the eco-friendly approach, a return to sustainable traditions.
Creo que esto es más natural, más bonito. Se meten donde los otros hombres no se metían para limpiar y no sé, es agradable.
From high-tech tools like drones and fire mapping software to helicopters dropping water, we've got plenty of ways to fight wildfires. But maybe the best solution is one we've had all along: nature's own grazers. With their insatiable appetites, these animals are proving they can be a powerful and low-cost ally in reducing wildfire risks.
UNN Field Messenger Bob visits a family-run coastal retreat on Sherkin Island. The retreat offers glamping, yoga, mindfulness, and team-building activities, all set amid beautiful scenery and abundant wildlife.
Hi, this is Bob, Field Messenger for United Network News, reporting from Sherkin Island in County Cork. I visited this center that provides ideal coastal location for trainings in yoga, art, mindfulness, team building, and a full range of group activities. And I was lucky enough to get an interview with Daniel, who is the son of the owners that started the place in the 1960s. So I hope you will enjoy this interview.
This is an accommodation business. We have a guest house here. We have 7 ensuite bedrooms, and we have also some glamping options. So we have glamping pods and glamping bell tents, and we also have a campsite where you can bring your own tent. And we're situated on Sherkin Island, a small island of, at the moment, around 175 people. And this is a lovely place where people can come and enjoy the nice beaches on Sherkin and all the kind of beautiful nature there is in this island, whether it be in the sea or on the hills or in the rock pools or in the air, even all the birds. So it's an area abundant in wildlife and beauty.
And you guys have been here for, I heard, since the 60s, is that right?
Yeah, my grandparents came to this island on summer holidays. They used to rent a house in the middle of the island, and they actually had, my father's from a family, he's one of 13 children, so it was a great place to bring a big family in the summertime, because it's a safe place. And
Right. It sounds like you're really doing this. Your purpose here is like you connect people to each other, and you help socially disadvantaged people.
I suppose there's an element of, like having it operate as a business, so we can sustain the business, and then also, yes, I feel like it's an opportunity to bring people together in line with some of our own interests. One of our interests is cooking, of course, and eating, and I guess that is a natural way to bring people together. And over time, then people obviously. We don't always bring people approach us and they say we'd love to bring a group here. So more in the summertime, we have lots of families. We just had a yoga retreat this weekend, for example, and next weekend there's some music events happening, and we're going to try and have a Blackberry Festival, which will be the first Blackberry Festival that Sherkin has held, I guess you could say. So that's good. That's right. Exciting. That's exciting.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for this day. I really enjoyed my time, and I wish you all the best, the blessings in your journey forward.
Having a nice time here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. And if it's going to be, it's up to me.
UNN is changing the face of news. Join us for our weekly Field Messenger meetings and learn how you can make a difference. Visit unitednetwork.earth for more information. Thanks for watching.